So the first time I saw the girls was a little bit different than when most parents see their children, because I had an emergency C-section.
You know, you kind of see like on TV the baby screaming and the holding and all that. We didn't get that opportunity. I was standing in the hallway pacing back and forth, waiting to figure out what's going on, and then the next thing I know,
they wheeled me into the NICU, and I remember seeing them in their isolates, and they just looked like little birds. Their skin was see-through, they had cords everywhere, tubes everywhere, because you see all these birthing stories and you hear about them, and it's this magical thing where they put the baby on your chest and you love on your baby, and I couldn't do that. I had to be gowned and gloved, and all I could do was touch their feet. I couldn't rub them, I couldn't hold them.
So I was terrified, scared, and then a doctor came out, and I still to this day hold on to what he told me. He had told me that this is going to be the most exciting, worst roller coaster I've ever been on in my life. We're going to have a lot more downs than we're going to have ups, but just to focus on them, focus on every little, you know, the minor things that other people or other parents don't appreciate, like the kids opening their eyes, the kids breathing for the first time, like minor milestones will be huge.
Helped me grow in early intervention, jumped in immediately.
First meeting, Charlie and Lenny's parents, Nick and Alexis. It was May of 2016. It was the kids' first IEP. It was a tough time for the parents. It was one of the toughest IEPs for me.
When we entered the preschool, it was terrifying. It was scary. It was a scary transition.
Charlie, she just jumped right into the classroom. We have a lot of toys here, so of course she went and explored all the toys. My main concern with her, it was social development. She didn't want to play with the other kids. She just wanted to play with the toys.
Charlie already had a lot of language and a lot of ability to express herself. She had more trouble understanding what other people were saying to her and taking the time to really listen and follow directions and answer complex questions. Now she's the one that's raising her hand to answer first during circle time or after a story or going home and telling her mom what she learned at school.
Having a nonverbal child is extremely challenging. You go through every day not really knowing their wants, their needs.
It was a hard time. It was a hard day for Lennox. Prior to, not only does she deal with a visual impairment, but she's also in a wheelchair. And to take her out of her home environment and stick her into an environment that she's never been in before, that is hard on anybody, even without disabilities.
When I first started working with Charlie and Lennox, the main goal was with Lennox to be able to find a way for her to communicate her wants and needs and say all the different things that she wants to say, because she has such a big personality and there's so many things she wants to tell us.
It was exciting because it was an opportunity to have a conversation with our child and really allow her to speak to us and get out things, you know, that she's held in for 5 years. But it was terrifying too because I didn't necessarily want to get my hopes up that it was going to work.
Lennox, I've had the pleasure of working with Mom and our full staff on getting a communication device for her that works for her needs. Because of her visual impairment, it's important that we really focus on something that allows her to use her remaining senses of touch and sound to interact with others and communicate her wants and needs. So we've been relying on a tactile symbol system, which is working amazing.
We sat for 3 hours asking her questions of things I've always wondered. You know, her favorite color that we just always put on her. You know, she didn't really make that choice. We asked her factual questions that we knew she hates bath time, so we asked her if she likes bath time. And it was just like rapid fire. Anything we could think of, we brought up, because I wanted her to feel like she finally had a voice and she could finally tell us, you know, yes, Mom, I hate it. No, Mom, I love it. And one of the questions we asked just for fun was, you know, do you love Mommy and Daddy? And she said, yeah. And it sounds so silly, but to never have your kid be able to say, I love you back is one of the hardest things. So that communication device has given us those opportunities that we didn't know if we would ever have. And the communication device was brought to our attention by the school and the staff and everyone that has believed in her for so long.
Listen, do you want to get in the bath? Do you want to get in the bathtub? Yes? No. Do you want to get in the bathtub? Yes? No. Do you want to get in the bathtub? Go ahead. Mommy, help you. Ready? No.
Please change that.
Lenny,
Please change that.
last one. Listen. Are you listening to Mommy? Lenny, is Char Char your best friend? Is Char Char your best friend? Yes? No. Is Char Char your best friend? Oh, thank you. Here, you do it with me. Here. Yes.
Grateful for days like this where we can just come to the park and play and just have normal kid moments like these ones, because we didn't think that we were ever gonna have this 5 years ago, and here we are. Huh. Yep.
Or just my girls in general, being here with them, spending time with them. Always looking back on from where we started to where we are now. Couldn't ask for anything better.
Leave all the fears that you have behind, and we'll break every curse, put it on the line. Can't stop fighting for you, 'cause all I know is I'll go anywhere that you wanna go. 'Cause life is worth living. Oh, and you.
I wish I could stay here forever, but I know they gotta go on and go to bigger and better things, but I wish they could literally be with these people throughout all of it, because you guys helped us a lot.
My hopes and dreams for Charlie and Lenny is overall, to be successful, to be happy, and for others to, believe in them like we did here at Starlight School.
I would hope that the girls get to have the same kind of childhood I had, that they be able to tell their mother that they love her, that they can ask friends for hugs and high fives, that they're able to have other girls over for sleepovers and play princess and enjoy all the things that so many of us take for granted, that these intense therapies and all these loving people in the board of DD are hoping to allow those girls to do.
Give me all your loving. And our